Good day, gamers. Fortain here, and welcome to a very rainy episode 19 of Minecraft, the Betweenlands. Hello, everyone. I'm in the water. Yes, it is very, very dark, very rainy out here at this new crag rock tower that we're going to be taking on today in Escape the Betweenlands. And unfortunately, I did not have a chance to go after this crag rock tower last time. So I figured we'd start right off with it today. As we know, there are several levels of the crag rock tower to explore, with some spawners on each level that we need to take out to clear the place. So we shall be doing so with a quickness. I did go ahead, and bring the swift pick with me, because I figure it's a good way to just boop out the spawners very fast. It takes a few seconds, even with the octane pick, to be able to break the spawners. Ow, hi. So I figured, since I got a swift pick, since I managed to get a swift pick from the loot from the previous tower, we'll go ahead and use it. Put it to some very good use. Ooh, some more white hearts. Very nice. Hi. So while I'm mostly going to be using the octane pick for popping the jars, I'm going to swap over to the swift pick, which is still very well coded. I'm going to switch over to the swift pick to be able to pop the spawners, just to make that job a lot faster, especially for the upper areas where I need to pop the spawner, run away real quick to kill the enemies that have spawned, and then go back and continue on. Boop, like so. Since obviously you don't get anything from breaking the spawners beyond just XP, I'm not like using the wrong kind of pick or anything on said spawners, so I don't have to worry about that. We shall continue upwards. Do I want to get... I don't want to worry about getting the jars just yet. I will in a bit. For the moment, I want to try and clear a couple levels worth of the spawners above me before... There we go. Before there's too many chances of creatures to spawn. Now, obviously, that's not a guarantee. As we can see right here, we've got a bunch of swamp hags that have already spawned, but it's less than there could be. If we just allow them to keep spawning, they'll pile up and be very bad. There we go. Next level should be the Pyrads. So we're gonna try and sneak up. Boop. Nope. Next level was the... Was it the Pyrads? Yeah, there they are. Looks like we managed to only have one Pyrad spawn, which I will certainly take. Let's get that taken care of. Hey, nice. Right? Nope, nope, nope. There's more. There's more. Okay. Gotta do this a little carefully. Alright. That one can kind of see me. The other one really can't. But I'm able to get perfect. Got it in this perfect little corner here, making it so I can just plink away at it with my bow. Okay, got it. Nice. There's that one down. Collect our misfired arrows. Got it. Alrighty, next one up should be white spawner. Got it. Alright. I see, yep. I'm gonna say I see the telltale wiggles. The kind of like looking through a gas or heat haze of the white. So I want to make sure I take it out. It is trying to possess me, I think. It went somewhere. I saw it fly off, but I managed to get the spawner, which is the important thing. Let's head down for a moment. Give whatever is up there a chance to kind of just dissipate. We'll go ahead and swap over and get these pots while we wait for that stuff to kind of despawn. There we go. We should be far enough away that we shouldn't be triggering any more spawns. As always, our main goal, our main hope for clearing these Cragrock towers is to get some Valenite. That is going to be the biggest thing that we can get from here. It's not a guarantee. There's a chance of getting some Valenite. Let's see, ores and organics. Let's go ahead and put some of this stuff away. Reed rope, that's ores. And let's go ahead and put our explorer entities. Let's put up some mob drops here. Those are definitely mob drops, at least at the second. As well as these arrows, because I don't want to be using up these better arrows right now. Okay. This is the primary level. Let's take a torch. Grab that. Moving on. I should probably make some more torches just to have with me. But I've been kind of using some here and there for some of the caves that I've been exploring when I find them when trying to do mining. I haven't really found much of anything while mining, regretfully. So that's why I'm not showing off like more caves, more of the mining complex. I just really haven't been finding anything. So I'm like, you know what? We're going to go ahead, focus on doing Cragrock towers. Hey, some Valenite splinters. Awesome. We're going to focus on doing some Cragrock towers just to have a better chance of finding Valenite. Because while I do enjoy going around and just, you know, mining up, creating the mine shafts and stuff for the sake of mining, it's a nice and somewhat enjoyable, off-camera thing to do. It does get a little repetitive when I'm just not getting anything from it, and I keep having to stop going out mining to, get materials to repair my pickaxes or to repair my magnet, because I'm just not getting any materials. I keep having to drop off a ton of pitstone because, well, yes, I'm definitely collecting a ton of pitstone while mining. I have no use for it. So, yeah, it's enjoyable. It's a nice way to relax, but at the same time, if I'm just not getting anything from it, it's not worth. There we go. Okay, hopefully that was the... Are you gonna follow me down? Yep, you are. Come on. Hopefully that was the white spawner. We can get the swamp hag spawner down. That'll be much easier. Okay, jump, see if I can get their aggro. There we go. Okay. Come back down here, you bastard. That worked. What else do we have up here? Swamp hags. Okay, that worked. That worked really well. Okay, back down we go for a second. Alright. So we're not going to get any more swamp hags. Hop back down. You guys going to path to me or no? That route up there seems to be making it rather difficult for them to, like, path to me correctly. There we go. They don't like the stairs, and I think that route up there is messing up their, hi there. There you are. That route up here, that one right there, was messing up their pathing. But, hey, there we go. That's another Crag Rock Tower completed. Awesome. As before, we have a bunch of pots. And unfortunately, it looks like only one chest, which kind of sucks, but oh well, we'll take it. Grab these pots first. Again, very much hoping that we get enough Valenite to be able to make our last piece of Valenite armor. Come on. Alright, got some item scrolls. Please be... I need 3 pieces of Valenite. Ah, dang it. Only one, unfortunately. Let's do our ores and organics. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Got a nice amount of sulfur, which is good, and that's appreciated. Let's see. The rest of this I'm just gonna throw into, let's see. That's organics. There we go. Got that. That's organics. Well, I mean, it is technically organic, but I got them from a mob, so 6 of one, half dozen of another. Okay. But yeah, that's another... That is another Crag Rock Tower completed. Again, good. Unfortunate that we did not get enough Valenites to be able to complete the armor. I can't break that yet. We're going to make a quick dive out of here so the tower will crumble, and then we'll be able to come up, pick up the chests, and move on. So, running very quickly because the whole tower is going to start crumbling. Yep, just like that. Okay. Away we go before our helmet breaks. Drop, 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 drop. And nope. Ow. Okay. We made it. Oof. Yeah, my helmet was full health, and you can see how much damage it's taken. It took quite a bit of damage. Nope, we got a thunderstorm off in the distance. Skaboof. Bunch of bubbler crabs. Alright, it is still fallen. We'll give it a second while we're doing that. Let's go ahead and grab our nets. And yoink! Grab this gecko for right now. We're going to need a few of them for our next stage, which is going to be actually working on some of the aspect stuff. I hear you, little gecko. There you are. Boop. Thank you. All right. The tower should be finished crumbling here. Let's go inside. We'll grab the chest at the top. Change the marker on here to be completed, empty. And we'll continue on. We'll also go ahead and grab the torches, because we don't need to leave them in here. Boop. Save on the torches. I'm pretty sure we already got all of the pots on the way up, but we'll check as well, just to be on the safe side. Brought some dirt with me for this very reason here, to be able to fill in any newly made holes once the tower starts crumbling. Makes it easier to get up and down. I don't see any pots here. Moving on up to the next level, like so. Filling in all the holes. No pots there. Boop. And another block right there. There we go. Not that, you know, we're going to take too much falling damage just falling down these little gaps, but, you know, wanting to make sure. This makes it a bit easier. If you remember back, scaling up the Ghast Tower in Twilight Forest in Sevtech, we used dirt blocks quite a lot. Just like, okay, I'm just going to fill in all these holes real quick. Boop, 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 boop. Done. All right. Chest has been gotten. Like I said, unfortunately, there's only one chest in this one. There's apparently a chance for up to 3 chests to spawn, but regrettably, we were unlucky and only got the one. So, now, if we had gotten another chest, there is every chance we would have been able to get more Valenite, but such is our luck. If I find another Cragrock Tower while I'm out and about exploring, I will happily complete it another day, and we'll be able to show off the goodies that we can get from there. But yeah, like I said, that is another Cragrock Tower complete. I'm not quite... That was weird. The text was a little weird there. I'm not quite well set enough to be able to do a White Fortress. So those are definitely going to have to wait. Once I have a full suit of Valenite armor, fully gemmed up, then I should be able to do the White Fortress, but not quite yet. They still take a fair amount of damage from even just the regular creatures hitting me with my Sumerite armor. Okay, so waypoints. We're gonna take this Cragrock Tower. We're gonna edit, and that is now empty. All right, and we'll go ahead and just turn it off. So back down we go, our much safer path here. Do we want to take any of the blocks from here? I'm not too worried about it. I might snag one of the glowing smooth Cragrock, just because. Again, it's a decorative block. Doesn't do anything. You can't make it. So, like, if you're really wanting to show that you have well completed the dungeon, you can take all the glowing smooth Cragrock out of it and, you know, keep them as a prize. Meh, no real need to, in my opinion, but just depends on what you'd like to do. Okay. As always, we can also snag all of these wisps. They do have a couple uses. The main one, beyond making the Shaman's Brew, which I might actually be able to make. It's just bulbcap mushrooms, wisp, and ground mire coral, which I think I have some. I think I have some mire coral. We might make some Shaman's Brew later to kind of end up the episode, to finish it off. But the main thing that you use the wisps for is to increase the difficulty of the spirit tree fight. There's a bunch of pedestals around in the area where the spirit tree resides. I'm going to start heading back home. There's a bunch of pillars that are around the spirit tree, and you can add oh, hi little singing guy, how you doing? You can add wisps to them to make the spirit tree stronger. It makes the boss fight more difficult. It gives it more health, more damage. But it does increase the amount of XP that you get once you do complete the boss fights, as well as increases the number of drops and the chance of certain drops. Mostly the large and small face masks, the animated tree face masks. Oh, hello, slime. You're a little far away from your biome here. I'll still boop you just to get you out of the swamp here. And we'll take your sludge to become sludge balls. You know, always the strange thing of, hey, I'm going to take this ball of sludge that just came out of from this hopping slime. I'm going to cook it and make it into a tasty treat. That sounds amazing. Why would you ever do such a thing? But, you know, Betweenlands and modded Minecraft. Yep. Put my swift pick away. Don't need it out right now. It is well coated, so it's not going to decay, but I also don't want to, like, get rid of the coating that's on it. But we are pretty darn close to center base here. Yeah, this, like I said, this Cragrock Tower was pretty close by compared to the other one, which was roughly about 1,000 or so blocks away. So I figured I would just, you know, run back if I had something to chat about, which I am, and I do. And I'll just start the episode with me being out there. Just to save a little bit of time, that's all. But, like I said, we have arrived back home. Home sweet center base. Are you gonna come attack me, Shallow Breath? Yes, you are. There we go. I saw it heading my way, so I figured I'd go ahead and bop it. Alright. Home sweet center base. We can go ahead and deloot a little bit. Get rid of that. We have our wood. We have our mob drops, like so. Our raw food. We have some geckos. You can see we have several geckos. We're going to need a bunch of geckos, all told, for doing all of the experiments. I know it sounds bad, but for doing all of the experiments we need to do to figure out all of the different aspects of the different ground items that you can. So we're actually going to be getting started on some of that today. Now, I don't have all of the plants. I do need to get more of certain plants to be able to grow them, and then there's others that I just need to go out and collect. But we'll be able to see what we can do with what we have now. Let's put away our Valenite. So yeah, again, we're getting close. We need 7 Valenite for the pair of pants, and that'll be the last piece of armor we need to make. So we need like 1 more piece of Valenite and 3 more splinters. So hopefully at some point we'll either find another Cragrock Tower, we'll find another spot that has a bunch of pots, because you can potentially get them from pots of chance, you know, things like that. Maybe even find another idle head somewhere, and we can try to scavenge some from that. But with that being the case, like I said, let's go ahead and work on our herb lore book, which we need to make first of all. Pretty simple to make: lurker skin, amate paper, and that just makes the herb lore book, which I'm pretty darn sure I haven't made yet. We do have our gecko cage, which, did we make this or did we find it? I think we found it. I don't remember exactly. Explorer's entry, the tower. Oh, I have not added this to the list down here yet. Marsh ruins, underground ruins, the tower. So yeah, have I read this one? Let's read it if we haven't. There we go. Holy, what is this? There was a massive tower that I found, and as foreboding as it looked, I figured it could be a place to settle down for a while to figure what to do. Sure, that makes sense. Not a chance. The ghosts were in tremendous numbers. They flew through the walls before I could take a step into that place, and I was out of there in an instant. It seemed to be a pretty major landmark, and I'm sure it had great loot, but I can't do this anymore. I thought this would be an exciting search, but it's turning into into absolute horror. I'm completely unwelcome anywhere here. I have to find a way out before I go mad. It's a nice little drawing of the tower, so neat. We'll add that to our list of explorers' entries and notes here. But let's see. We do have more item scrolls to animate, so we do have a chance of getting some more Valenite from that. But like I said, let's work on the herb lore stuff first. So lurker skin, amate paper. Again, we should have plenty of that. Need 3 pieces of amate paper. I am going to make a bunch of these herb lore books later on as a substitute for the books, for the bookcases to enchant stuff. But for the moment, I'm just making the one. But here we go. There's our herb lore book. And now we have the advancement, bookworms. Take a look at our advancements here. Let's see if we can find it. There it is. Obtain an herb lore book. Then we have from there, use the vision aspect to make an item frame invisible. Interesting for can't see me. And fully booked. Completely fill in the herb lore book. All right. So that's going to take a while because there's still a lot of herbs that we don't have access to. But at the very least, we can get started. So we have the list of aspects, list of ingredients, aspect info, and ingredient info. So for the list of aspects, it tells what each one is. I'm not going to try to pronounce all of these because I know I'll do a bad job from some of them. List of ingredients, it actually shows you what each of the ingredients is. And then when you click on it, it'll actually show you if you have like all the stuff learned from it. So we just go through. Aspect info, it tells you what each aspect is, what effect it has, what brews it is in. Then the ingredient info is once you've already learned those ingredients. So we have to do some testing. Like I said, I already have a gecko cage. I think I want to make 2 more. The reason is, when you test an ingredient on a gecko, it takes about a minute or so for that ingredient to wear off on said gecko, to where you can either test that ingredient again or test another ingredient. And yeah, I've definitely done the thing where you simply are using one gecko at a time, one cage at a time, just sitting there, you know, over and over and over again. I think I'd like to go ahead and just make 3 gecko cages. That way I can test a bunch of stuff all at once. Now I'm still going to need a bunch of geckos, hence me having several caught geckos here. And as time goes on, I'll probably need to go out and catch more geckos. But for now, we have our 3 geckos that we can put, our 3 gecko cages. We have 3 geckos that we can put in. 1, 2, and 3. All right. Herb lore book in hand. Let's take off our shield for right now. Let's take a look back at the beginning. So we got algae, angler tooth, and aqua middle gem are the first 3 we can get. Now we do have a bunch of algae. This is the plant version. This is what you get when you use shears. We have the algae clump, which is what you get when you use the sickle. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grind this up in the mortar and pestle. I'm actually going to take the life crystal that we've got just to speed this up, make it a little easier. There we go. Because with the life crystal, that is essentially our automation for this system. We put our algae clumps in here, that goes ahead and crushes it up. And we now have our ground algae. So we'll start with about 4 of each of the different things, because there's usually only about 3 to 4 effects per ingredient. So if we're grinding up 4 at a time, we should be able to test all 4 fairly quickly. It's still going to take some time. We do need the angler's teeth. And then the next one was the aqua middle gem. Now, we don't have any aqua middle gems already made up at the moment, but if we go into the purifier, yep, purifier, I'm not worried about the crab pot filter. I do have to do that at some point. I'm just not worried about it right now. So we'll go ahead and just use we'll use the purifier to do it. I would like to take a little bit more sulfur, put it in here, and we'll also grab a couple buckets of swamp water because we're going to have to purify some red gem and green gem as well as part of this whole process. Bloop. And bloop. There we go. That should be enough swamp water to be getting along with for bits. We have our ground algae. Go ahead and grind up our angler's tooth here. And this is creating the aqua gem. All right. Ground algae. Let's see what ground algae has to it. So we have our herb lore book in our inventory. It just has to be in your inventory. I don't think it has to be in your hotbar. But here in the inventory, we right click the ground algae on a gecko. Boop. There we go. You can see the gecko's muscles twitching uncontrollably. This item still seems to have some more undiscovered aspects. So what that means is you need to use more ground algae on another gecko to be able to continue the research. Now, if we try to use it again right away, the gecko is still recovering from the last experiment. So we go to the next gecko cage. There we go. The gecko is chewing furiously on its tail and looks around as if possessed. This is a great thing to do. Honestly, like, I could go either way in terms of like, hey, this is a good thing versus, hey, this is a bad thing. It's not great, but this is the method that they used for the mod. So ground algae. There we go. You've never seen a healthier gecko. It's bursting with energy. This seems to be the last undiscovered aspect of this item. There we go. So ground algae is complete. If we hold shift over it, we can see the 3 different effects that algae has: Yeowin, Biaris, and Azuin. And we can also see their relative strengths. Now, out of, I want to say it's either 5.0 or 6.0. This is Yeowin at 0.78, Biaris at 0.94, and Azuin at 0.84. So we can go ahead and for now, I'm just going to take the algae clump, move it down here. We're going to put the remainder of our ground algae up here. And if we take a look in the herb lore book, we see ground algae is now complete. Large patches of algae can be found quite commonly in any biome on the surface of the water. This item has the following aspects: Azuin, Biaris, and Yeowin. Right, so we're going to repeat this process with the ground angler's tooth that we have. The gecko scales seem to become rock hard. It can barely move. And gecko seems light, and its breath sounds like a hollow wind. And that's the last, this undiscovered aspect of this item. There we go. Ground angler's tooth. Cool. So we'll go ahead and put away ground angler's tooth. Next up, we have the ground aqua middle gem. Go down the line. Boop. Perfect. And that one just had one aspect to it. Very nice. So again, if we mouse over, we see this is Björngas at 2.97. So that means when we distill this down, we're going to get a lot of this Björngas from it. Oops. Wrong button. Okay. Ground aqua middle gem. What do we got next in terms of... So, ground arrow arum, black hat mushroom, and bladderwort. So let's see. I don't think I have any arrow arum. So I'm going to have to go out and get some of that. Let's see if I happen to have any that I've gotten as I was going out. I haven't gone through just yet to like fully sort all this stuff. I was kind of working on that in between things. I just haven't done it fully yet. So I don't have any arrow arum yet, but I do have black hat mushrooms, and I do have bladderwort flower, which I should have some bladderwort. Nope, I do not. That's okay. Bladderwort flower and bladderwort stalk. Let's grab the flower and grab a little bit of the stalk, just in case. It is kind of dark, so apologies if this is a little difficult to see. But what we're gonna do is... Actually, you know what? We can actually do this a little easier. Let's grab a bit of water here. Head back up into the base itself. And we're just going to create a little spot of water right here for any plants that need to be in the water. I can easily fill this back in with the wood later on, but just to have a nice, somewhat lit area to see this in. All right. Put some swamp dirt down. There we go. Bucket of water. Bucket of water. Perfect. All right. So bladderwort flower. Can't place that. Bladderwort stalk. I can place that. Okay. Use our sickle here. It is well coated still. There we go. So now we have the bladderwort stalk item. This is not the one that you can like plant on here. It's the actual one that you can now grind in the mortar and pestle. So we'll go ahead and do that. Bladderwort flower, I'll have to save until later. Check that out. But what is our next thing? Yeah, I don't have arrow arum yet. Need to go out and get that. Yeah, so I'm going to need more bladderwort flower and then the bladderwort stalk. That's fine. That's not a biggie. Blue-eyed grass and blue iris are going to be the next ones. So let's see. Blue iris and then blue-eyed grass. See if I've gotten any of that yet. Let's see, blue iris, blue-eyed grass. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. We'll take our blue-eyed grass, like so. We'll take our sickle, like so. And there we go. Go ahead and grind all this up. Take our bladderwort stalk. And we'll continue on. Hi there. Hello, are you having fun over there? He's got a little rider. That's alright. Okay. While that's being ground up, use our bladderwort stalk. Let's see. Twitching uncontrollably. Chewing on its tail. Alright. Scale seems to be glowing slightly. So now we just need to wait a moment. We'll go ahead and put away this wood for right now. Don't need it in our inventory. But yeah, a lot of this testing, I'm going to show the majority of it on camera. It's not difficult to do. It just takes a little bit of time. But this is, hey, there we go. That is the last undiscovered aspect of that item. Good. So, let me grab a couple more pieces of the bladderwort stalk. I do need to grab some more water because it technically replaced the water with like waterlogged. Not that waterlogged exists in this version of Minecraft, but kind of the same difference. There we go, just to make sure I have a representative sample of this stuff. Boop, boop. And I'll probably head out at some other point to get some more of this, just so I have a healthy supply until I start growing it here at base. Let's take our black hat mushroom. We'll ground some more bladderwort stalk. And we'll do our black hat mushroom tests. There we go. Nice. That was it. Okay, perfect. Just a couple little things. Durability is good. Durability is good. So taking a look at our ingredients. Arrow arum, black hat mushroom. So gem, skip, black, skip, bladderwort. That way we keep everything in nice, neat order. So gem, skip, black, skip, bladderwort stalk. Perfect. There we go. Next up, blue-eye grass. Our geckos are doing okay. Now, we can, for the achievement, the advancement, we can't like take the gecko out like this. What we have to do is break the cage. Like that. A kind heart after all. Which is basically you just breaking open a cage and setting a gecko free. Unfortunately, I do need them all to be in here. But if we take a look at the advancements, yes, released a test gecko. So yeah, unfortunately, we got to keep the geckos going. So there's our blue-eyed grass. Go ahead and do the blue-eyed petals here. We'll go ahead and put away the net for right now and do our testing. Perfect. That only had one on it. Nice. That is Firnalas, fire at 1.94. Again, the higher the number on there, the stronger the concentration of stuff you're going to get from it when it is time. Let's take a look through. So blue-eyed grass is going to be right next to bladderwort stalk. There we go. And now we've got our blue iris. Ooh, clunk. Do our testing. Oh, perfect. Just one. Gecko's eyes are pulsating. So this one has Freywin vision at 2.49. Awesome. Okay. There's our blue iris. And I'm trying to keep at least one of each of these in here. Again, just to make it so I don't run out, forget what's supposed to be there, and then like have to do a bunch of searching to be like, okay, I need to put this in there. Kind of thing. Taking a look. So bog bean, bone set, and bottle brush. All right. Let's see. That's button bush. Bottle bush. Let's see. See what I've got already done in here. So there's our bog bean flower. Let's grab boop 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 boop. Our bone set. Boop 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 boop. And our bottle brush. Boop 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 boop. Let's go ahead and do these. Since this still has water in it, we can just collect these buckets like that. We'll save that for later. Can't place the bog bean. Boop, boop, boop. There's our bone set flowers. Place the bottle brush grass. Boop, 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 boop. I did a dumb. I thought I had the sickle selected. Bottle brush. Let's try that again. Let's make very sure that we have the sickle. I scrolled the wrong direction. There we go. Okay. So yeah, the bog bean flower. That's going to be another one where I'm just going to have to... Oh, I have to place that in... I think I have to place that in water. So let's grind this stuff and we'll place it in water. Let's do our bottle brush grass. Put some water down. There we go. Our bog bean flower. There we go. Yep, we just needed to put in water. That's fine. Boop, 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 boop. Perfect. And it didn't actually take up the water. That's nice. Grab water. Okay, durability is good. Durability is good. Do our bog bean flower. While that's working, we'll do our testing. Still has some aspects. Still has some aspects. And last undiscovered. Very nice. Okay. So bottle brush. So we're skipping 2 and then doing bottle brush, which is that one. Back over here. Skip 2. Bottle brush. Grab our bog bean. Put in the bone set. And do our testing. Oop. Oop. And there we go. Last undiscovered. Awesome. Nice and quick. So blue iris, then bog bean. There's our blue iris. And there's our bog bean. What I'll probably end up doing is, once I've shown the crushing and testing of these on camera, I'll do any other crushing off camera just to make sure that I have a ready supply of all this stuff, and then be able to do like the first sets of extraction on camera for you all to see. I'm actually going to do a little bit of that for the end of today's episode, but yeah, we can also do a couple item scrolls. But here's our ground bone set. Boop. Boop. And a boop. Cool. That's all the aspects for the ground bone sets. So we've got blue iris, bog bean, bone sets. Perfect. Bog bean, bone set. What's up next? Broom's edge, bulb cap, and button bush. So we take a look. Broom's edge. Do I already have some broom's edge? I have a single piece of broom's edge. Okay. I'll have to go out and get some more, but that's okay. I don't want to like run out accidentally. So yeah, we'll do that. We're actually going to skip broom's edge for right now because I don't have much. And I'll go out and get some. But let's do our bulb cap mushroom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Button bush, which I should have a fair amount of. I think I saw a bit in here. Nope, I didn't. Never mind then. I'll have to go hunting for some. Cave grass, copper iris. We got plenty of copper iris. And we got some cave grass. So yeah, let's do these 3. We'll do our bulb cap mushroom. Again, durability is okay. Durability is okay. I believe, yes, we have another pestle that we can combine to save durability on that. Again, I'm keeping this life crystal at 100% durability because I want to use it for crafting later on. Okay, there's a ground bulb cap. Put in our copper iris. And we'll do our testing here. Oh, 1. That's it. Nice. That works. So that has Freywind vision. Take a look at our list. So bottle brush, broom's edge. So skip 1 and then bulb cap. And I'll go through again off camera and make sure these are all definitively like in order, just in case I happen to skip anything. Okay. Ground copper iris. We'll grind up the cave grass blades. And see. Chewing. Belly rumbling. Oop. And unfortunately, we've now lost our first gecko. But that's okay. That's the last undiscovered. So, we take a new gecko. Boop. Put it in the cage and we continue on. Take a look at our aspects here. Yeah, ground iris is all the way down here. So, bulb cap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that one. So skip 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boop. There we go. Correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. Perfect. All right. We have our cave grass. We'll do this last cave grass test, and then we'll try and see if we got the stuff to make our first, at least, extraction of these aspects. Muscles twitch. Scales glowing. And unfortunately, there goes that gecko. And there we go. It's bursting with energy. Place a new gecko. And we'll put this in the chest. So skip 1, ground iris. Okay. There we go. So these are the ones that we have tested so far. And as you can see, we do have some stuff that we have a fair amount of. I definitely do need to go get more geckos for a lot of this testing. But what I would like to do now is I'd like to actually extract some of the aspect from these things, or at least one of them to show it off for now. I do have a lot of algae clumps. The algae clump has Yeowin, Biaris, and Azuin. I don't know if that's going to become an actual potion, but we'll see what we get. So what we're going to do is we're going to grind up 6 algae clumps. You can put a maximum of 6 of an ingredient or 6 of a bottle of something into the brew to create the aspect potion. Boop, 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 boop. Let's take that out. Perfect. 94%. Very good. Put the pestle back in, the life crystal back in, and the algae clump. While that is going, put away our mod drops, put away our sickle. We need to make need to make the alembic, but we also need to make the, is it the infuser? Yeah, it should be the infuser. Yeah, because we don't have that one. We have the purifier, but not the infuser. Okay, grab our ground algae, grab our life crystal. We do need to make another mortar and pestle for the infuser, but it takes octane ingots, a pestle, which is just weedwood, stick, and crag rocks, and then more sticks. So sticks, we need our crag rocks, and then we need our octane ingots. Boop. We've got our pestle, like so. We've got our infuser, like so. Put that away. Put that away. Oh no, we're getting to be a red sky knight. you know what that means. We're going to be having a lot of swamp hags coming to knock on our door eventually. We'll have to be careful. Let's see. While we have this, let's also make the alembic. Because the alembic is what you're going to be putting the finished brew into to get either the aspects out of or the actual potion out of. So we need green dendrithist block, which is just 4 dendrithist pieces put together. Green vial, some octine, and then some crag rocks. So let's go ahead. I know that I normally do not make more than like 1 of a crafting station in a playthrough. I'm actually going to make 3 of these, and there's a very important reason why. With the infuser, once you fill it up, you can fill it with 3 buckets of water. And with those 3 buckets of water, you get 3 buckets of an infusion. Now, yes, I could very much just take 1 bucket at a time, put it in the alembic, let it brew, get all the potions or aspects out of it, put the next bucket in, wait. Because it does take a couple minutes for it to like fully percolate in the alembic. Or I can make 3 alembics and have 1 infuser's worth of stuff going at a time. The infuser itself takes a while to brew up, and then taking the extra time to like brew through 3 alembics, 3 buckets worth of material, I just kind of find it easier to just go ahead and just make 3 alembics. So like I said, I'm kind of going against my own thing of, I only make, one of like, I only make 1 animator, I only make 1 compost bin. It's just easier and more convenient, especially if you are like doing a ton of just aspects. You're not brewing any potions, you are just extracting a ton of aspects. It's just easier to use 3 alembics and not have to wait. Again, this is going to be something that I'm going to be doing the vast majority of off camera, so you all don't have to worry about it. But if you happen to look and see and be like, wait a second, he says that he doesn't make, multiples of a thing. He only makes 1. It's like, yes, I understand that. I am making the decision to make 3 of these for that very specific reason. Now, I believe, let me double check real quick. I believe the infuser needs a lit block underneath it, similar to these other things. There we go. So let me triple check. Yes, you need to place it above smoldering peat. Gotcha. Okay. Easily done. I just wanted to make sure. It is getting even darker because it is a red sky day here, but it's also getting to be nighttime. Very spooky, and you can see off in the distance there's some swamp hags that are patrolling around. That's okay. Let us, for the moment, just to show this off. Again, I'm going to move some stuff around eventually to a more permanent location. But for now, while I'm testing this, we're going to take some peat. We're going to put it right there. We have our infuser, and we need we have octane ingots. 1, and we need a bit of moss. I'm pretty sure I have, yes. I actually need to go get more moss because I'm running low on it, but that's okay. So let's take that so I don't burn the place down. Boop. Boop. Perfect. Okay. So, this used to take... Yeah, swamp water. Yeah. I was going to say, it used to just take swamp water. I wasn't 100% sure if it still just took swamp water or if it needed clean water. It's just swamp water. It's fine. So we're actually going to take our life crystal here. And I got to do this a little bit quickly. We're going to place the alembics right here just so I can bucket out. We'll take these. And actually do this. I can just use one bucket. Actually, no. I want 3 buckets for when it's done. Reminding myself the order of things. Okay. Take buckets of water, put it into the infuser. We're going to add the life crystal. What the life crystal does will automatically stir the whole thing until it's done. So, bucket, bucket, bucket. We then take the ground algae, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and give it a stir. So what happens is, over time, the life crystal, as you can see it spinning, will stir this. The brew needs to be stirred every now and again to keep it from burning. If you don't stir it, what'll actually happen is, I want to say if about every 30 seconds to a minute, 1 bucket of liquid will evaporate and you'll get a shallow breath spawn. And I'd rather not have that happen if possible. So with the life crystal there, it's going to stir it once it gets to temperature and prevent the shallow breath from spawning. We'll see a change in the brew here once it actually is done, and then we'll bucket it out and put it into the alembics. There we go. So it is now at temperature. The life crystal will start stirring it. And then there will be another release of kind of steam and smoke from this. See, there we go. It's now stirring it. Poof. Okay. Bloop, bloop, bloop. So now we have 6 ground algae, infusion time of 0. I think that is simply because, go ahead and grab our life crystal back. There we go. It doesn't use much durability to stir it. I believe it always says an infusion time of 0 when you're just getting an infusion. You're not actually getting any potion from it. I will double check that though, because it has been a while and some things have changed. But let's go ahead and use the weedwood buckets. Yeah, so we take a look here. We got 5 Azuin, 5.58 Yaris, and 4.63 Yeowin. This may be a potion. It may not be. I'm not 100% sure. Again, it's been a while. So I'm going to let that run. While it's running, again, we don't have to worry about this doing anything. It's empty. We're going to animate a couple of the item scrolls that we got in hopes of getting more Valenite. Am I positive that I'm going to get some Valenite? No. But I'm hopeful. Don't need much. Just need a little bit. Every little bit will definitively help. But let's see what we get. An 88 durability on the life crystal. I'm going to put that in the animator. Put some sulfur in the animator. Item scroll. And we'll let that work. That way we've got a couple things running at the same time. We got the animator going. We got the alembics going. Let me also go ahead and make some green Dendrothrist bottles. I haven't actually created any bottles beyond just the ones that you just saw. I haven't made any bottles yet for doing any of this. We can just take these green Dendrothrist and break it back open. Oh. Gambling addict. Oh, maybe that was like, do a bunch of item scrolls. I'm like, I don't know what the advancement was that I just got, but okay. We'll check it in a second. But yeah, you can break apart these blocks of green dentrithris and always get back 4 pieces of shardage. So you don't have to worry about, like, you know, I crafted them into these blocks just to save space. You don't have to worry about, like, not getting the entire amount back or anything. So there we go. That's plenty of bottles for the moment. Trust me, you will need a ton of bottles for going through all of the all of the different aspects. But for now, that's enough. We got another white bane. Meh. Could be better, could be worse. I'm just going to shove that into one of these chests for right now, just to kind of save space. Let's take a look at that advancement. See if we can find it here. Ah, okay, gambling addict. Animate way too many item scrolls. I mean, 15's not way too many, especially if you're trying to get a specific thing from it. I would not say 15 is way too many, but sure. Let's grab our last couple white hearts. Yeah, this is kind of the reason why I'm switching over to doing a bit the white's bane. I'm switching over to, like, exploring the Cragrock Towers instead of mining for the Valenite, is because I have to repair my magnet. Repairing the magnet takes durability on the life crystal. Repairing the durability on the life crystal takes white hearts. So I have to keep going out every now and again and hunting whites for their hearts specifically, so I can get so I can repair my life crystal, so I can repair my magnet. Yeah, so it's a constant cycle, and I was just finding a lot of times where I would go out and I would, oh, I got a music disc, waterlogged, neat. But I would go out and I would mine a bunch of stuff, like an entire magnet's worth of just just pitstone, and I wouldn't get anything worth, you know, anything. I wouldn't find any more Scabist. I wouldn't find any more Valenite to show you all, to be like, hey, here's my next batch of Valenite that I can mine up. Hey, my Olympics are done. Nice. Okay. So yeah, I would mine, not get anything, mine, not get anything, mine, not get anything. Then I'd have to go out and fight a bunch of whites to get enough white hearts to repair my life crystal, to then repair my magnet, to then continue mining. So just that kind of constant cycle was not really getting me anything worth speaking of. So I'm like, okay, yeah, this is kind of enjoyable for just off-camera grinding, but it's not as fun right now because I'm not getting anything from it. So that's okay. But we are done with all the item scrolls that we've gotten so far. I don't think I have any more in here. No. Let me just triple check. Nope. And nope. Okay. But as you saw, our alembics have stopped smoking, which means whatever is inside them is ready to be pulled out. So we take our green dentrithris vials. Mainly I'm using the green ones for just the aspects, because you can combine them in bottles without dirtying the bottle, so you don't have to clean it, which doesn't use sulfur. So we just right click on it, boop, and we now have 1.42 of Azuin. We have 1.58 of Biaris. We have 1.31 of Yeowin, and that's it. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. So this is why I said I like to use at least 3 alembics. On a rare occasion, I've actually had like 9 of these going at once if I'm trying to like mass produce a ton of the I'm trying to mass produce a ton of these aspects just to keep cranking through material. But yes, so we've got Azuin, we've got Yeowin, and we've got Byaris from just regular old algae clumps. What I can do now to combine this is I can take this Azuin bottle, and I believe nope, don't shift click it. I don't want to throw it. I should be able to just place it on the ground. I'm going to double check before I do it. Okay, that doesn't do that. All right. I'm not going to combine them at the second, but I know you can. I don't want to accidentally throw it, because taking the potions, if you hold shift and then, hold shift and right click, you can throw the potion and basically use it as a splash potion. But I don't want to do that. This is just the aspect even. But I'll double check just to make sure. Again, I'm pretty sure just shift right click, you put it on the ground, but I'll double check. But I do think I'm going to leave it for here for today. I've got a lot of aspects to grind up. I got a lot of plants to grind up. We'll do more aspect testing next time. Here's the list of stuff we've tested today. We've got a bunch more stuff that I need to test. I need to go out and collect a bunch more plants, which will not be too hard. We did a Cragrock Tower. Got a little bit more Valenite, but not enough. We got some more item scrolls that we analyzed. And we are well on our way to our aspect testing and brewing. But until next time, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you have a good day and good game.